This tool costs almost nothing, but without it, some aircraft maintenance tasks become impossible, and it is not even on the official tool list, and most engineers only realize its value when they don't have it. Today I am breaking down the top 10 tools every AME needs. Some you will recognize, some will surprise you, and by the end of this video, you will understand why the number 1 tool is not what you expect. At number 10, diagonal cutting pliers, also known as dikes, side cutters, or wire cutters depending on where you trained. Basic, but essential. On an aircraft, you are constantly working with safety wire, cable ties, and locking wire. You need a clean cut close to the surface without damaging surrounding components. A cheap pair will crush rather than cut, leaving sharp edges and loose strands that become a foreign object damage risk, and AME's diagonal cutters are sharp, precise, and used on almost every job. Next, the adjustable spanner. The tool every engineer owns and every engineer has an opinion about. Purists will tell you never to use this. Reality on the hangar floor is different. In line maintenance on an aircraft, in a confined space at 2 in the morning, the adjustable spanner is the tool that gets the job done. Used correctly, jaw fully closed on the fastener, load applied in the right direction, it is perfectly serviceable. The key word is correctly. Used incorrectly, it creates more problems than it solves. Now this tool surprises people, the hammer. Yes, aircraft maintenance engineers use hammers, not to force things that do not fit, but for specific, controlled tasks, removing pins, driving out bushings, tapping components during assembly. Used incorrectly, Tanaya, this tool can cause damage you will not see until it is too late. Hidden damage that visual inspection alone will not reveal. The hammer earns its place in the kit, only when used by someone who knows how. These are the tools you expect. Now we move into the ones that actually define how an AME works. At this point, most people think they understand what tools an AME uses. They don't. At number 7, the caliper, brake wear, tire tread depth, component clearances, fastener dimensions. The difference between a component that is serviceable and one that is unserviceable can be a fraction of a millimeter. That fraction determines whether the aircraft flies or stays on the ground. A worn brake disc that measures 1 millimeter below minimum thickness does not get signed off. The caliper gives you the number gives you the decision, and the decision goes in the technical log. This one matters more than most people realize. The multimeter, voltage, current, resistance, continuity. On a modern commercial aircraft, electrical faults are some of the most time-consuming defects to diagnose. A circuit that shows no visible damage can still have an open circuit, a short to ground, or a resistance value outside limits. Without a multimeter, you're guessing, and guessing has no place in aircraft maintenance. An AME working electrical systems without a calibrated multimeter is not working to standard. It is that straightforward. There is no alternative. Number 5. The inspection mirror, it looks basic. It is not. A telescopic handle with a small angled mirror at the end. Aircraft are full of areas that cannot be seen directly, behind brackets, inside bays, around structure, beneath components. I have found fluid leaks, chafed wiring, cracked structure, and foreign objects in areas completely invisible without a mirror. The inspection mirror is not a backup tool. It is a primary inspection tool. Every AME carries one. Every AME uses one on almost every job. And the jobs where you don't use it are the ones you should. At number 4, think Long-Nose Pliers, designed for working in tight, confined spaces where a standard tool will not fit. On an aircraft, you are constantly reaching into spaces designed for the component, not for the hand installing it. Long-nose pliers let you grip, position, and manipulate small components, split pins, locking wire, and electrical connectors, in areas your fingers cannot reach. They are also essential for forming and fitting safety wire, a skill every licensed AME must demonstrate. Get a good pair. The cheap ones flex under load and let you down at the worst moment. The screwdriver, the most common tool in any toolkit, and one of the most damaging when used incorrectly. Always use the correct type and size for the fastener. A Phillips head driver on a positive fastener will cam out and damage the head. An undersized flathead will slip and gouge. A damaged fastener on an aircraft is not a minor inconvenience. It is a potential airworthiness issue requiring documentation, assessment, and potentially replacement. The screwdriver earns number 3 because it is on every job, and the damage it causes when misused is more common than it should ever be. Number 2, the right-angled pick. The tool that opened this video, removing O-rings without damaging the sealing surface, extracting split pins from tight locations, or releasing locking tabs on electrical connectors, and clearing debris from threaded holes. The right-angled pick does not appear on any standard tool list. No training course tells you to buy one, but every experienced AME has one, usually several in different sizes. Most engineers discover this tool the hard way, and after that day, it never leaves the kit, because the next time, you will need it again. Number 1, the flashlight. And if that surprises you, you have never worked a night shift on a line turnaround. Aircraft maintenance happens in hangars, in bays, under aircraft, inside wheel wells, behind panels, in engine nacelles, every dark, confined space you can imagine. Without it, you are not seeing the aircraft properly, and that is where mistakes happen. I have worked shifts where my flashlight was the difference between finding a defect and missing it. I have held one in my teeth to free both hands for a job. A good flashlight, bright, reliable, rated for the environment, is the single most used tool in my kit. Every shift, without exception. 10 tools. Some you expected, some you didn't. All of them essential. The right tool, used correctly, by someone trained to use it. That is what airworthy maintenance actually looks like. And if you are working towards this, you already know none of this is optional. If you want to understand what really happens behind the aircraft you fly on, subscribe. I break down aviation in a way that actually makes sense, without the noise. See you in the next one.